gentlemen, how's everybody doing?
We're back.
We're back. Holy shit, it's been a hot minute.
We're back.
I just realized something.
Yeah.
I gotta get my earbuds so that you guys aren't picked up on my mic.
This is
so
so true.
Okay, leave.
Mark is going to go get headphones. Patrick and I, that's okay, Patrick. You and I will riff real quick. Yeah, it's been a hot second here. I still don't have my computer back. I'm using Michael's right now, but I will have it tomorrow morning. I didn't get all of my irreplaceable shit back.
Oh, dude, that's so rough.
So
bro.
that's
like my worst nightmare.
Super epic. There he goes. Mark's back. But
I'm just gonna connect my headphones so you guys keep going.
Please.
You're living my worst nightmare.
I know it's a whole. I'm not impressed that I lost all the shit, but what are you gonna do? I'll pick up the pieces and I'll move on. But yes,
You have a lot of stuff on docs though, no?
Yeah, but not like, I have like life stuff on there and but not all the photos I lost and certain like files that I used for the show even and like stuff that I'm gonna have to find elsewhere if I have it saved anywhere else or just get it again. So that's super epic. But
Yeah, it's gonna take me a minute.
that's
Who's
okay.
Craig?
Craig is the thing recording us.
Oh, okay. Hey, Craig. What's up,
Hi,
buddy?
Craig. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But anyways, yes, we're back. We're finally attempting a remote episode. Now that Patrick is way out. As you can see, Mark is healthy again. I know that
Dude, why are you dropping my location like that, bro?
I'll cut it out. He's out
Why
west.
are you dropping my
there.
location like that, bruh?
But yes, Mark is back. He's alive. I know when Patrick, you clipped out that PSA from the one episode, there was people commenting and whatever and being like, hey, is Mark okay? What the fuck?
Is he alive? I can hear my audio, by the way, coming from someone's end. Do you hear that or no?
I assume it's coming through Mark's end right now, but once he has his headphones in, then it'll be a easy peasy lemon squeezy. Don't worry, I'll cut all the audio. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
But anyways,
can you guys hear me?
yes, we can.
Okay. So now I got the earbuds going on. So no. Also, I'm gonna move position because I'm way too bright over here and it doesn't go much dimmer. Let me see if I can move.
That's
around.
okay. Mark's on the move. Patrick, how are you? How's out west treating you? All right.
It's not-
He hates it. He hates it.
No, I don't hate it. No, I don't hate it. It's
an
alright. It's
adjustment.
nice. It's an adjustment. There aren't a lot of Arab people out here, which is a little disheartening.
You need your kin.
I need my kin, but it is what it is. You gotta take what you get.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of indigenous people here, though. I will say, I feel like in Ontario, maybe I just was ignorant, but I just didn't feel like there were that many indigenous people in Ontario. Whereas Saskatchewan, I don't know. There's a lot more here.
Mm.
Yeah.
How's my lighting here?
That works.
Yeah, that's good.
Like we said, by the way, for everybody listening, this is our first time doing this. It might sound a little weird. It might not look great. We'll get webcams eventually. Don't panic. This is the growing pains of trying to
I low-key
switch
don't think
to
I
do
need a
the show in
webcam.
person. Patrick doesn't think he needs a webcam, so there you go. So that's...
Wait. Is my video not good? I thought
No,
my
it's
video was
fine.
good.
No, that's good.
It's fine. I might just want one anyways, just for the sake of having slightly better footage, but, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I can probably get us ones for $30 a piece, which is, it's all we really need. We don't need a fucking 4K cameras over here. Mark,
like
how
one.
are you doing?
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
That's
He's still on the move.
still setting up. How's the recovery been going? Because I was just away for the past week, so I feel like I haven't heard about your recovery from your appendix surgery.
Yeah. Mark's body
I'm
got
doing-
cut open.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it did. I'm doing pretty good, honestly. The stitches have basically dissolved already,
Mm.
and I have one wound that's still somewhat fresh, surprisingly, which is the one on, right under my belly button.
Mm.
That one is kind of still scabbing is forming, and it's still kind of not healed yet.
Mm.
But then the other two are much smaller, and those are back to normal. It just kind of looks like two tiny little slit scars you can barely see. But yeah, honestly, the last few weeks have been kind of shitty for me.
Oh no.
Just been sitting around a lot,
Oh.
just doing nothing, just watching The Office, rewatching that. So now I'm back in the swing of school and work and stuff. So it's good. It's keeping me busy. But I just feel weird not being able to do any exercising at all and just kind of like, I don't know. It kind of sucks. I feel like if I don't have everything lined up and I'm not doing everything quote unquote properly for myself, like I feel like everything else, my motivation goes down for everything else, if that makes sense. Like if I'm able to like work out as I usually work out and meal prep as I usually meal prep and work and then school and whatever, but like if one of those things falls through, I feel like my subconsciously my brain is like, like you don't have to like, lock in right now. You can just take it easy.
Damn.
But yeah, so other than that, I feel good physically.
That's good.
Yeah,
I'm glad
thanks
you're
for
on
asking.
the mend.
Thank you. How's your talk about your Halifax trip here?
Yes, I have returned from Halifax.
I'm so sorry you had to go there, by the way.
Yeah, brutal.
It was good. I was out there visiting Varsh because she's working a job right now till December. And I was telling Patrick last night that I really liked Halifax. I know Malcolm sent that thing to our chat being like, is Halifax as sad as everybody like says it is? And I didn't get that vibe at all. Like I was telling Fahim, like, it's a city. It has its problems. And like, unfortunately, you see the odd like homeless person or something like that. But like, I really liked it because it was, to me, the perfect blend of like a city, but not as insane as like Toronto or New York is. Like it still had a smaller town feel to it while at the same time having like lots to do and like really good food places. And Halifax is nice because it's like right on the water. So like, on the Saturday that I was there, Varsh and I went down to the boardwalk and just like hung out there basically all day, hitting up like some of the food stalls and just like chilling out. We took like a ferry across to Dartmouth and whatever, and it was like just really cool.
Isn't that an Ivy League school?
What?
Dartmouth.
Dartmouth.
Well, let me tell you what. No disrespect, but Dartmouth is not an Ivy League town. I'll tell you what. It was definitely a little rougher over there. Like Varsh and I, that day we took the ferry from Halifax to Dartmouth. We were like, let's walk around Dartmouth's downtown for a little bit. Ghost town. There was nobody walking those streets, and you could just tell, like, unfortunately, it was like a bit of a rougher area. Put it this way: when we got off the ferry and arrived at Dartmouth, we were witness to a screaming match that turned into a fist fight. And when we left Dartmouth to go back on the ferry to Halifax, a second screaming match turned into a fist fight. So that was sort of our like greeting and goodbye at Dartmouth. So that was a whole thing. But no, Halifax specifically though is like, I really liked it there.
True. Yo, Mark, do you wanna give your I guess sorrowful comments on Suga losing his title?
Oh God, don't even.
Oh, did that big
wanna talk
UFC
about
thing
it.
happen?
It happened.
And he lost?
So, the fighter that we all support and we've been supporting for quite a number of years now has unfortunately lost his belt.
Damn.
The event itself was pretty amazing. They did it at the Sphere in Vegas, and for those of you who don't know, it's like the biggest LED screen in the world. And they did this really cool transitions in between fights where like the last few fights they would switch the scenery completely. So like like these two female fighters that were fighting for the belt, their background was this really cool like Coliseum thing. And then like when the main event started, it was like this cool like city skyline with all these lights and stuff. And then like one fighter earlier was fighting and they had this like really cool like floral field with like different colored plants and stuff. So they kept switching the background and it looked pretty amazing. And they had these really cool, like 2-3 minute, like stories, because it was all Mexican Independence Day. They were doing it. So basically, they would tell a 2-3 minute story about Mexican history, and then the next fight would start. But the story was told visually with this really amazing screen that they had in there. So, and then all the fights were amazing, except for the main event, unfortunately. And I'm not saying that because my favorite fighter lost, but I am saying that because it was quite an uneventful fight. Most of the fight was like
something.
Sure.
So, Sean O'Malley's takedown defense is not shit by any stretch of the imagination. So
it's very
what
good,
happened? What happened there?
Well, Styles. I mean, people always say this, but like Styles make fights, and he was able to defend against Merab's teammate, as you know, Aljamain Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Merab's movement is so awkward and weird, and I won't stay on this too long because I know it's like really very like inside baseball or whatever. But Merab's his movement is so awkward, and he's like very quick, and the way he sets up a takedown is very I don't want to say unassuming, but very like out of nowhere. Like there's no telegraph that he's gonna go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and also O'Malley did talk afterwards on his podcast about how he had like a big injury the last few months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always that, but then there's always people like, oh, he's just making excuses.
Doesn't that feel like a cop out though?
I think so. I think that, and he even said in the beginning of his statement, he was like, I lost and he won fair and square. Like he doesn't really use it as the main reason why he lost. But at the end of the interview, he's like, I also like want to take a year off now to heal up some injuries and whatever. But to answer your question, I think that Merab is just really, really aggressive, more so than Aljamain. He's just like nonstop, relentless. So even if he doesn't have a successful takedown attempt, he'll try again and again and again and again, like 20 times per round until he gets one. Mm-hmm. And then he'll control you really well, and he'll land some good ground and pound. So it just felt like O'Malley never really got the opportunity to get going. I think that he could have been more aggressive, but he was so worried about being taken down that he wasn't throwing as many kicks as he usually does, because Merab would probably catch it and then take him down.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just kind of my mini analysis of the fight. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. He still has 18-0 on his TikTok.
I see. Yeah.
So I don't know if he's going to change that to 18-1.
He's actually
18-2, which is the official record, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, honestly, I had a really good time watching it. I had a friend who came over, like one of my coworkers who I'm good friends with. Like we watch UFC together sometimes. He came over and it was really fun. We just hung out and we're just going crazy. There's a bunch of good fights that were like really epic. That last fight kind of left a bad taste in our mouths just because of, again, he's our favorite fighter, and then also the fight itself was pretty boring. It was mainly like him getting held down. Couple punches he got to the head when he was on the floor. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Honestly, Merab is amazing. He's like I'm happy for him. He's worked really hard to get to this point, and I don't necessarily think it was the most boring fight. I just think that oftentimes like grappling heavy fights aren't the most entertaining for most people. Yeah, I can appreciate some grappling, but ultimately, obviously, people want to see knockouts and stuff. So, but anyway,
right. It seems like Matt was kind of happy that Sean O'Malley lost.
What gave
like
you
when you said, "Oh, this fighter we all support lost," he kind of lit up a little bit. He lit up a little bit, I will say.
Is overcome with a sense of joy.
But yeah.
Well, there you go. UFC.
There you go.
Stuff. I'm glad everybody's doing good. I guess we'll start the show for realsies.
Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back to episode 78 of Wildly Adequate, the show about anything, everything, and usually nothing. Coming at you remotely now. I, as always, am 1/3, maybe a quarter, we don't know if Malcolm's coming, of your hosting crew, Mr. Matthew Urso. And I am joined by, as always, Patrick and Mark. Hello, boys.
I'm proud of him. I'm going to be honest with you.
Who?
He didn't say Mr. that time. And that takes a lot of... That takes a lot.
Oh, did I just say Matthew?
You just said Matthew.
I always throw in the Mr.
I thought you were going to say you were proud of Malcolm, and I was going to ask why.
Oh, he hasn't done anything of note recently for me to be proud of? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying I'd be surprised that you're proud of him for whatever reason right now.
Patrick, take us away.
So, I've moved.
Yes.
As you guys all know.
Mm-hmm.
And I have begun living alone.
Mm.
And I walked into my house. I'm pretty sure I've told each of you guys this separately, but I walked into my house a week ago or so.
Studio apartment.
My studio. Damn, this guy's always trying to humble me. What the hell, dude? I said house, but you're right. It's a studio apartment. I live in a 200 square foot shoebox. You're right.
I envy you. I mean, I honestly do envy you. That's really cool. Like you have again, I've told you this before. Like the fact that you could tell people like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to my place. Like that's so cool. Like I don't have a place. Like, I mean, my place is my parents' home, but like that's what it is. It's my parents' house. But like I don't have a place to call my own and be like, I'm gonna go to my house, or my place, whatever. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean that aspect of it is nice, but then you get into your place and you're alone, and you verbally say to yourself, "Fuck, I'm depressed." So it's like,
oh no.
You know what I mean? It's
What are you depressed about? Just
there's
being alone in
trade-offs.
your house?
Honestly, I know I'm saying that like I'm being a little hyperbolic. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably say I'm at like maybe a 4
Mm.
or 5.
Mm.
Like I'm not
halfway depressed.
I'm not like in it. Yeah.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But
mm.
what's the biggest thing? The biggest thing is being far away from the feeling of FOMO is insane, dude.
Mm.
The feeling like when you guys were all like hanging out and I was just like on the FaceTime call that one time, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, dude, what is this? I should just hang up and let them hang out. Like, what am I doing here? But like, it was
didn't
FOMO. You know?
didn't you know this like going into it?
It's one thing to know something, it's
Sure,
another thing to
okay.
experience something. You know?
Yeah.
So, so that experience kind of hit me like a bus. And even the other day, I was talking to Mustafa, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going out for Kareem's birthday. We're, we're gonna hit a couple bars." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just here reading about ethics. I'm trying to be an ethical person."
Genuine question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think you stick this out all 5 years out there?
Yes.
Or like you don't see any reality?
Oh,
where
no,
you're
no,
like,
no. Pause. The 5th year, I don't have to be here. The
Oh.
5th year, I get to apply to residency, and it could be in America, it could be in Canada. It doesn't have to be here.
Sure, but so okay, let's say 4 years. Do you think
Yeah.
you stick it out there?
Well, what's the alternative? Walk
Is
me
there
through
no
the
way that
alternative.
you could like switch into the same thing but just closer?
No.
So
I
you're
mean,
just stuck.
Perhaps-
I guess you have to apply to like a transfer. I guess. I don't
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Perhaps it's possible. I haven't really looked into it that much. There's a few things though. One, the school is investing in you.
Sure.
So like you get a scholarship to come study. That's one thing. 2, I'm building a specialized research program with my professor.
Sure.
So I won't necessarily have that anywhere I go. So I appreciate
Right.
my professor giving me freedom and really allowing me to explore my interests. And 3, it's kind of like a shitty, because of the first 2 things I mentioned, it's a shitty move on the individual's part if they were
Sure.
to
just to
just
pack
like
up and leave.
transfer. You know what I'm
Try
saying?
to leverage the position into something else.
Yeah, it's not the best look, and I've heard stories of people saying, those who have done that, they aren't received very positively.
Right.
I guess
I would assume so. Well, what I was
yeah.
also going to say is, in addition to the like moving thing, I think it's still early. You're still in your first couple weeks, because I was even just
Yeah.
talking about this to my mom earlier, because she was just asking me about when I was visiting Varsha, and she's like, "Oh, how's Patrick doing out west and whatever?" And I was like, I think he's doing good. He's liking it, but it's just a bit of like an adjustment period. And I was saying to her that I think once you meet people out there and build like a bit of a social circle out there, I think it will be less of a thing, especially if you find perhaps even a lady. I think
No,
that
come
Arabs
back
here.
to my place.
No Arabs here. I want to come back to my place. It's actually
Because
what,
I think-
what a line that is in this day and age, and in this economy as well. What a line that is.
right.
yeah, in this economy, you're right, dude.
I think because
if you can say come back to my place in this economy, you're
I feel-
you're automatically a baller.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I feel like me being like, yeah, I'm gonna like go on a drive in my car is like a flex a little bit, And I know
Mm.
most people our age have a car, but it still feels good to say that.
Mm.
So I can't imagine the ecstasy that you feel when you can tell people that you should come to my place and hang out.
Yeah,
And they're like, oh, like your parents, like you live with your parents, and you're like, no, like,
Nah,
this is my
come
place.
to my bachelor pad.
all me, all 200 square feet.
But
all
what I'm
me,
what I'm
baby.
saying, Fahim, is once I think you develop a bit of a social circle, be it platonic or romantic, I think that will alleviate
a romantic social circle is crazy, dude.
Sure.
I'm not about that.
But
dude.
before you go
I'm not
on
about that.
and make another point, I just have to ask, because I don't know why I'm just now noticing this. What is the fucking green light emanating from that hallway to your, our right, your left?
Oh,
You know,
I
it
left a
does-
light on there. My
But
bad.
it's like green.
It's not green. The wall is green. The wall is
Oh,
green.
Jesus.
Should I
was
close
like-
it?
No,
Is
you
it-
don't
is
have
it-
to. No, it's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
I was looking at it, and I was like, what is he keeping like plutonium in there? Like, what the fuck is
It's
happening?
ominous.
Yeah, there's a certain like
The mask is in there from the mask. It's glowing in there.
So to touch on something you just said,
mm,
I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this before, but there is no weirder feeling than being the new guy in an established friend group the feeling of intrusion that I have, because I have my family friend, she's out here studying dentistry at the same school as me, and I went to hang out with her friends a couple times, and I don't know, there's just a feeling of you don't belong here, like you're an outsider, you know. We have our plans and we have our thing, and I have a lot of restraint, or not restraint's not the right word, but like inhibition, because I don't want to feel like I'm shoehorning myself in to this group, you know.
But I think that'll get better.
I honestly feel like it's almost a symptom of how our social lives have been for the last however many years. Like, we've had our social circles kind of set up for a long time now, you know, like in where we live. So I feel like I'm not used to meeting plenty of new people and making like a lot of new friends and joining multiple new friend groups and whatever. Like, I guess a little bit from my teaching program, but at the end of the day, like I have my core friends that are just pretty much set. So I understand how you would feel, and I would feel the same way. Although I don't think you would feel that way if you were constantly joining new friend groups and like you'd be used to it, you know? I just think it's like so foreign to just be jumping into a new group at this point, where we already have you have me and Matty and Malcolm and whatever, and then you have like Mustafa and Kareem and all those guys. Like, you have your social circles set up. So now to have no circle and you have to like join a new one, I'm sure,
it feels wrong. Feel weird. It actually feels wrong. I can't feel like you don't want to be like beyond that. Like you said, if it feels like you're intruding or something, or you're like an outsider. Yeah, exactly. It feels
but
like
aren't
I'm an outsider. And go ahead.
Aren't there other? This is gonna be so fun doing it virtually now. Aren't there like people in your position that aren't in friend groups, like that are just like out there and they're like newer or whatever? Like,
you can just corner them.
Like people in my program?
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying is, like I'm sure I get what you're saying about like there being pre-existing social circles and stuff, but I feel like once you start to either work your way into like a pre-existing thing or kind of like start to make friends and whatever with people, then like it makes the, you know, because right now on like a Saturday night, you don't necessarily have, I mean, unless you're going with like your family friend and their pre-existing thing, but it's not like on a Saturday night right now you can necessarily hit up people and be like, hey, let's go to the bar, or like let's go do this, let's get together and play fucking Smash and whatever. But once you have that, I mean,
we're trying to set that up. Like people in my program, they want to do a Smash night.
Oh,
or I mean, I think I want to do a Smash night. I've been saying Smash night whenever anyone brings up that they have a Switch. But a couple of the second years as well, they were talking about going to like a Halloween pub crawl. So like, you know, everyone dresses up. We hit up a few bars and stuff.
There you go.
So there is that stuff in the works. But here's the thing, though, and this is kind of the core of the issue. They're always, I think, this is my prediction, I think they're always going to be my program friends. Like there's going to be an asterisk there. And I'm not saying that's definitely going to be the case, but that's sort of what it feels like right now, where it's like, you know, we're friends, sure, but we're friends by virtue of this program. And so that's the common ground we have. And it feels like a flimsy thread, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But I mean, you just started this journey, so like who knows, maybe 3-4 years down the line, you'll feel like they're genuinely like your family or whatever the fuck. You know?
I just like the way Mark phrased that, like a therapist, of like, you've just started this journey. Like it sounded so like comforting and like reassuring.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's true. I think that you know, whoever, maybe a year down the line or more, you can feel like these people are like now your closest friends, or they're like an equally as close group as you know, me and Matty and you know you are, versus like, you know, you and Mustafa and all that. Like you could have like a new group of people that are like equally as close to you as your other groups. But I know what you're saying. It's almost like when you are in a new place and it's just like you're just friends with people just because you live in the same area or whatever. So I get it. It feels a little bit maybe fake-ish to you, maybe, or maybe superficial, the connection at first, because it's like you know, you're connecting because you're in the same area. But I think it'll feel more genuine as time goes on.
There's also a story you need to hear. So I was in my friend's building, right? And in most apartment buildings, they have like a recreational room or like a lounge kind of thing. We were just hanging out in the lounge, and there were other people in the building because it's open to anyone who lives there, right? So other people came up in the building, and we ended up playing pool with these people who came up, right? And we play our game, we finish, and my friend is talking to one of these guys, right? He's like the whitest guy you'll ever see. Like he's ginger, you know what I'm saying? White as snow, right? And I hear the slightest phrase, shocking phrase. He goes, "I'm Egyptian too." And I turn with the fastest head turn you'll ever see. I'm like, there's no way this white ginger guy just said he's part Egyptian. So I go in. I'm like, what do you mean you're part Egyptian? He's like, yeah, my mom was part Egyptian. And he starts saying like Arabic words. He's like, yeah, my teta, she would make me fool and stuff. And I was like, there's no way. And he said he's Coptic too.
There you go.
He said he's Coptic.
Oh. It's
How
like
insane is that?
Isn't that like the guy from our high school who I will not name, but we all know who I'm talking about, who was like a white ginger guy and like very quiet, kept to like nice guy, but very quiet, kept to himself.
He's Syrian.
And then we find out like years in that he's like the whole time I'm sitting there thinking like, yeah, there he is from Ireland or whatever the fuck. And then it's like, nah, he's like Middle Eastern. It's like, how does that compute?
Yeah.
But
a lot of like Patrick said, he's Syrian, and a lot of Syrian people are actually redheads.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah, there are a lot of Syrian people that look like that.
Pretty fascinating.
But yeah, this guy's name is actually I probably shouldn't say his name. I'll say his name, but you bleep it out, so just so Mark can hear it. His name is he's as white as they come. But yeah,
there you go.
Is that wrong to say? He's as white as they come.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
I give you a pass. So
thanks.
Was there anything else you wanted to get off your chest with this, or is it just like Patrick's move? You know,
just like Patrick's move. You know, talking about how it is living on my own, like doing dishes sucks, kicking balls. You know what I'm saying?
I can't. I really can't do it anymore. I can't really do it anymore.
You sound like a fucking guy on the edge. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Dude, it's honestly the worst. Like I have a dishwasher, and still it's like horrible.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I need someone. I need someone doing that for me. Honestly, if anything, the motivation to get wealthy is just so you don't have to do all these like tedious tasks yourself. Like I'd love to have a driver. I'd love to have someone cook food for me, clean the house for me. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I feel like I
pamper me, baby.
One of my greatest fears is that I'm like mentally, when it comes to my capabilities, I'm like a child. Like, you know, I want to know how to cook and clean and do all this shit. And I think that because my parents have been gone, I have learned how to cook quite a bit. And I've made shit for myself. I've made fish and chicken and whatever. I've made stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel a little bit more comfortable in that realm. But when it comes to the realm of like cleaning, like I honestly don't know what I'm doing. Like I think that maybe I'm making it harder than it is in my head, but I just don't know what to do. Like if you told me to like clean my living room, I would like organize the couches and shit, put the pillows in the right kind of orientation, maybe like dust a little bit, but like I wouldn't really know how to like properly clean my floor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Like you wouldn't mop, you wouldn't vacuum, like.
Okay, I would vacuum just to like get rid of surface dirt. Like I've done that shit, but like I've never like deep cleaned, quote unquote.
Okay. Yeah, I've never deep cleaned.
Like, I
haven't busted out the rug steamer.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Rug.
So I don't even.
I don't think that is that a thing?
I think so in like hotels and shit, but not like in people's houses.
Oh,
so yeah, my thing is like, I really want to know how to clean properly. You know.
True.
Someone has to teach. Someone should teach me.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm not gonna have to worry about all this once I'm raking it in and. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I think I'm just joking. I think this is going to be a lifelong problem for me.
There you go.
It is what it is. But yeah, do you guys have any questions for me? Like I don't know.
Interviewing you? I don't go.
No, not interview, but like, is there anything that I don't know you guys are questioning about, like living alone, or because I know neither of you have lived alone.
Well, I'm essentially living alone right now.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
My parents are gone. I mean, I have my brother here, obviously, but him and I are on very different schedules for work, and I'm at school and whatever. So I don't really see him that often, and I find myself alone for like 90% of the day. So I've gotten a taste of what it is, and I like it. It's just like I'm not used to the work level of needing to like to upkeep stuff.
Honestly, I really appreciate the Egyptian tradition of keeping the kids in the home until they get married and then they go on, because like I don't see the point of this. I genuinely don't see the point.
This
of,
is what I've been saying for so long when I talk about this, where I'm like, I am in no desire to like start fucking renting some shitty little apartment and like pissing all my money away. Like at least you're getting.
Thanks, buddy.
No, but you have like you're doing it for school.
Asshole.
You said it was a scholarship thing too, and that the school's helping out.
Yeah.
So it's not like, and you're doing it for a reason, for an education, and because you have to. And I get that there's situations where people have to rent, but I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
why?
but also-
I think that
No, but also you're a bum, so it's
this
like,
is true.
I think I think there does have to be a line at some point.
Sure.
Like I think if you're 30 and you're living at home, and then at that point, like meeting new people, if you're trying to get into a relationship, the question is like, why are you not in your established career, and why have you not saved some money so that you can go out on your own or whatever?
30 is
thing
definitely
is-
pushing it. There's got to be a
thing is,
reason
for
why
sure.
you're there at 30.
Exactly.
if we're talking about our culture, then it's like you
Mm.
presumably have the down payment for a house, but you're just waiting for your partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think that
If you don't have
even
the
if
down
that's the
payment for the
reality-
house, then that's actually that's fucked. But
No, but I'm saying even if that's the reality, I think that, like, even if you do have the down payment, I think that you even saying that you're living with your parents at that age is like an eyebrow raiser, and it's going to be an issue regardless of what the truth is, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I
I
think
think
it
maybe
definitely
depends
depends on who you're talking to. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just
Like
think
if it's
that,
an
like,
Egyptian person, I don't think that would.
of course
raise an
not,
eyebrow,
because they
right?
know. No, because it's
Yeah.
very normal in our culture for people to stay very long sometimes, depending on when they get married.
Yeah.
Because like you
yeah.
said, the limiting factor is getting married, not how much money you have. So there's people who are living with their parents and are way more well off than people who have already moved out and started a family and whatever, but
Yeah.
they just haven't found a person yet to like be married to. I just think that when it comes to non-Egyptian people and you're starting to get to know somebody, that's going to be like a, what the hell are you talking about? Like, why?
Mhm. Well,
And I'm
Matty
sure the
has
right
a story about that, right?
That's right. But I think
guess,
that the
yeah.
right person, I think that what it comes down to is the right person for you is not going to have that be a major issue. Like, they might be confused by it at first, but once you explain it to them and they'll understand it, I think that the right person for you is going to, like, kind of let it go as, like, not a big deal, you know?
Yeah. Yo, Matt, you want
I
to
think-
remind me what that was for you? Yeah. Well, sorry, Mark. Did you have something else to say?
All I was going to say was, like, I think that the worry for people when it comes to that is that if you're still living at home for that long, are you not taking care of yourself, and are you not driven and ambitious and stuff? I think that's
Yeah.
the worry. But if you're saving a lot of money and you have plans to do that, to move out, and you're working on it, I just think that it changes things versus like if you're just kind of chilling and you have no end in sight.
That's
you
true.
know?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yo, Matt, you want to remind me what that circumstance was for you? Because I vaguely recall there was like some sort of discontentment with your home, which is crazy. You were 22 at the time too, right?
Oh,
you
yeah. It was
21?
just a couple, like 2 years ago that I was just someone I went on like a couple dates with and whatever. And like what ended up being their big thing was they were like, oh, you still live at home and you're like 22, whatever. I was like, yeah, I'm in school and like working a fucking part-time job and whatever. And like,
Dude, to
I
this
had-
person, by the way, like newsflash, like literally 98% of people who are 22 are still living at home at this point. Like,
yeah, like I was kind of just like, if that's a thing, that's fine. And, you know, we went our separate ways. And
But do you
Joke's
smell
on them,
BS
'cause-
though?
Huh?
Do you smell BS though? Didn't you tell me that this person like slept around a lot?
Oh.
no, I did not
Oh.
say that.
Oh, you
wanna
didn't say
put-
that, so-
No, it did not. Let me be very clear. Going to put no
Okay.
disparaging things out there. Not going to let Patrick put any words in my mouth.
So
no,
I was
it
wrong.
was,
You didn't say that.
I did not say that. That was
Okay.
definitely not something that happened. But no, it was just like how they saw things, which, you know, was fine, whatever. And I don't really care. It was what
Okay.
it was.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. That coming from what's that face, Mark?
I don't know. It's just like when he said like I don't care, the way the way your face looked, it was almost as if you felt like he does care.
Oh no, I had no.
In the moment, it was
No,
annoying,
no
but I'm
way.
saying, like, in hindsight, like, I don't have any feelings about
Yeah.
it. And it's like, and I have Varsh now, who we've been together over a year and a half at this point, and it's like, she's the best ever. So it's like, it's not like there's any hint of, like, dang it. It's like, I don't give a shit, whatever.
No, of course. Yeah. No, I
Better
just
off now.
That just weirded me out because again, like Mark said, 90% of people
Sure,
are
yes.
living at home, and if they're not living at home, their parents are paying for their accommodation at university.
Yes. In the
Right,
moment,
they're living
it
on
was
dorm or
definitely-
something.
In the moment, I had that thought of, like, isn't this kind of like the situation?
Maybe she wants a
Everyone
self-made
is.
millionaire, a CEO, a
Yeah,
trader.
honestly, if you're 22 and you have your own place, you probably came into a large amount of money somehow, or you started your own business that's insanely successful, or like there's
Mhm.
no you can't just be finding a regular job out of high school and like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not, it's not realistic in this economy.
Ridiculous.
No. Hopefully, Canada gets on track here and fixes things up. I don't know if we're ever gonna be able to own a house at this rate.
Yeah,
but
no.
I think that I honestly find comfort in the idea of like being in my own apartment for a good number of years while I save money for a house. Like that's fine by me. I'm not in a rush to get a house. It's not like I have like 2 or 3 kids that are like needing a larger space. If I do happen to find someone who I want to like settle down with, like odds are, unless they're like stinking rich, like they're gonna be in the same boat of trying to save money and stuff like that. So yeah.
Tell us about it.
What is that? Tell us about what?
Tell us about it.
There's literally nothing going on with this person, Patrick.
Okay. Okay. Just want you to know that you can tell us about it.
There's romance in the air.
No, there's not. There's really not. It's literally my parents are in Egypt right now. And
are they trying to set you up?
Yeah, my dad was just like, oh, like I was out to lunch with one of my friends, and like he has a daughter who's like also going to be a teacher, and she's around your age and whatever, and she goes to like a private school, like some international school in Egypt, so she's like has really good English and whatever. So he was like, yeah, maybe I'll give you, I'll see what the dad, and I'll get her information, and we can like set you guys up just to chat. And I was like, okay, I mean, I'm open to it. But I guess one of the main points that they talked about was the fact that they're very wealthy, these people.
You left out a detail.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that she like has her own villa or something.
Jesus. So
cool.
you can go play trophy husband. That's okay. Listen, the week I was in Halifax with Varsh, because she was working, she had like early starts and then like early ends, which is why I went that week, because she was done by like 7:30, 8 like every day, but she had to start like early as shit in the morning. But because she was at work all day, I just played trophy husband, where it's like I did all the dishes during the day, and I would like tidy up if it needed to be. I like folded all of her laundry and shit. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. I was like, if I was ever in a situation with Varsh where she was making like shitloads of money, I'd play fucking trophy husband, no problem.
It's tough because you can't cook though, right?
I cooked the first night. I made pasta and chicken nuggets.
Were they good though?
Well, I mean, the nuggets were just frozen nuggets from the grocery store. The pasta was good. The only problem is at that point she didn't have any salt, so it definitely like needed salt. But other than
how does she not have salt?
She had like no spices or anything. Like that was one of my errands, as I went grocery shopping and got like salt and pepper and sugar.
No spices.
Fucking butter and whatever.
Dude, I want to just say, on the off chance that I end up with this person who I've mentioned, like on the very off chance that happens, I haven't even met her.
Qualifying statement incoming.
I want to, because I was just like, as soon as I said what I said, I was like picturing myself like with this person, and then like them seeing this clip, and so I want to say that if I do happen to meet this person, I'm not just wanting to talk to them because they are wealthy.
Okay. It's on the record.
Mark's looking for love. He's looking for real love.
That's right.
He's looking for love. And that's what drew in the girls in my lab.
There you go.
Yeah. I told you. Didn't I tell you this?
What does that
Did
mean,
I never tell you this?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever told you. Did I tell you?
Yeah, you told me. But I'm saying like.
What did I tell you?
What do you mean? You told me that I don't know. They were like. They liked the fact that I wasn't just trying to find someone casually. They were saying that they liked the fact that I was like trying to find a genuine connection with someone or something.
Well, I think I indirectly did it because I juxtaposed you with Merrick, where.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. So I told them a story about Merrick. Not that it was a bad story or anything. Sorry, Merrick, if you are upset by this, I guess.
Shout out.
Anyways.
You won't see it.
So yeah, I told him a story about Merrick and how he's like having fun in Poland, and he was like, girls buy me shots in bars or whatever. And immediately I followed up, and then I have other friends like Mark who, he's just looking for love, and I never had such a warm reception from women before. They were like, "Aww," and
there you go.
The rest is history.
Splendid.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like. I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, if I'm excited about someone and I want to, get to know somebody, I'm down just to be casual with somebody. But then when it comes down to it, like I can't. I just can't do it. I don't know what it is. I just feel like I actually need to really like someone in order to be, I don't know, committed to them in any way.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, like I've told people that I have this friend named Mark who knows exactly what he wants, and he doesn't play no games. Like, he doesn't play around, and that's universally, you can't go wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Not that you want people to like you or anything, but everyone appreciates that.
That's
you
cool.
know? Yeah.
So, anyways, Patrick's move. I guess we'll.
Actually, no, I don't want to say this on. I don't want to put this on the record.
Okay, then I guess we'll just shuffle along here. My sweet baby boys.
I kind of need to take a shit. Would it be okay if I took a shit?
Oh,
Or should I hold it?
I think you should wait a little bit.
Fuck, dude. Okay.
Unless you're crowning.
I'm low key, kind of a little bit gonna start crowning.
Okay, well, if you absolutely have to duck out,
No, I'll hold it.
Mark and I'll steer the ship.
No, I'll hold it. I'll hold it.
Okay, here we go. What was I about to say? Oh yes, my sweet baby boys. Since Malcolm doesn't seem like he'll be joining us, I'll save my big fun thing for next time. But what I will talk to you guys about is the topic of mistakes. And this is prevalent for yours truly recently, because I made a big mistake when I deleted a bunch of irreplaceable shit off of my laptop without backing it up beforehand. And it just got me thinking. I think it was to that recent PlayStation game Concord that came out, and then like was not reviewing but selling so bad that after less than 2 weeks they just pulled it from the market and like refunded everybody, which is like an insane, so like never happened to PlayStation ever, like huge blunder. So I think it was that partnered with, over the past couple weeks, me grappling with the fact that I like totally fucked myself with my computer. And it just got me thinking, like, you know, it doesn't have to be big or serious. Like, it can be small things too, but like mistakes that you guys have made that you like think about, things that still haunt you and all that.
Dude, is it true that Concord only had a couple hundred players on launch on their servers? Someone told me that. The
day it came out, it might have been in like the thousands or something, but like the first week after, like the Steam numbers were in the like 600s.
That's insane, dude.
The going theory...
That's an insanely low number.
The going theory is that between PC and PlayStation 5, it might have sold somewhere in the neighborhood of like 35,000 copies.
That is so bad, dude. Oh my god.
For a multiplayer game and a big first-party PlayStation multiplayer game, like a death sentence.
That is insane, dude. That's such a loss.
So
that is such a huge loss.
Yeah, so talk about mistakes. But yeah, I don't know. What do you...
So wait, what was your question to us?
Just my topic is mistakes, like mistakes that you guys have made. Could be big, could be small, like it could be inconsequential shit, but just like mistakes you guys have made that like you think about or like haunt you, you know?
That haunt us, Jesus, Matthew.
But they could be in like in like menial, inconsequential things that you just like, you know how everybody has, I'm sure, the things they think about, like, oh, that one time in like high school or elementary school, like where I did something stupid that like nobody else but me thinks about it, but it still like is something like every once in a while it just pops up and it's like, oh god, I can't believe I did that stupid fucking thing.
Do you want to go first, Mark?
You want to go? Sure, yeah. I mean, to me, like, surprisingly, I don't have anything that's big that comes to mind. I think there's a bunch of little shit that happens every day that, like, I don't know, like, shit that I do every day that I find to be a mistake, you know? Like, maybe just, like, eating something and then, like, kind of, like, leaving a bit of a mess in my kitchen or something. Like, little shit like that where it's like, oh, that was a mistake not to clean up, or that was a mistake not to correct this or correct that, whatever. Like, little things in the house or whatever. But I think that, in general, like, because I'm such a reflective person who always thinks about consequences and that sort of stuff. And then even when I make a mistake, I find that like it's really valuable for me. Like I've been in a situation where I got into a relationship, as you guys know, that wasn't really going anywhere. But now that I think back on it, I don't view it as a mistake. I view it as like I needed to go through that to understand on a deep level how it's not what I should be doing. So like, yeah, I guess it's a mistake, but it never haunts me because it was a good time in my life and I felt like I learned a lot. I don't know. There's nothing that's ever happened to me that's such a huge mistake that did nothing but negative,
Well, and I say like haunt you, but like kind of in a joking way, because that's what I'm getting at
Sure.
too, is like mistakes are a good thing because you can learn from them. Like in my case, for example, it literally was the thing of like going forward, I will be backing up all of my shit constantly. I will be like so extra careful. Like I will never make this fucking blunder again kind of thing. So it's like,
Okay.
it can be
Well, I have
a
one
valuable tool as well.
I think that one that, I still learn from, of course, but I wish never happened, and I do think about quite a bit, was like my first car accident that happened like a couple of weeks after I got my car, when like the whole front of it was totaled and I was freaking out, and it was a horrible situation, and I wish I was more careful then. Of course, like just like you, Matty, I'm now as a driver, I'm much more aware of my surroundings, and there he is.
There he
Malcolm.
is.
Oh, he figured it out. Oh my goodness. He's joined. He's not on video yet.
You gotta click the little video button.
Or like a camera button.
It's the bottom left button that looks like a video camera.
It's like, oh, you
You
gotta
got a
allow the
webcam?
camera. Yeah, you may want to figure that out on your own, buddy. You're derailing the show, pal.
We'll see if Malcolm can rejoin us in a moment. But anyways, Mark, go on.
Yeah, so like I think that car accident was a genuine mistake, and I think about it often. I think about how I felt when it happened. I think about, how things could have really gotten, like how it could have been really bad if I had like driven up a little bit further when the truck slammed into me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one that I think about every once in a while. And I think that for me, if we're thinking about like what quote unquote haunts us, whether it's like super serious or more kind of like, a bit on the lighthearted side, I think that to me, like bad habits that I find to be mistakes are like what haunt me the most, like things that I wish I was doing better constantly. I think that the little shit adds up over time and starts to really bother me, as opposed to like this individual event happened. Those never really bother me that much because I know that they're like a one and done. But when it's something that's like a constant problem in my life, then that, like for example, like my eating habits. Like I have pretty shitty eating habits, and I kind of dialed them in to be pretty good when I was meal prepping like a month ago when I was really working out a lot and whatever. And then I had this surgery, and I was just on my ass for like a week at home. So I was just ordering a shit ton of food and not exercising because I'm not allowed to exercise right now. So then all of a sudden it's like everything feels derailed, and that's been like haunting me these days. But yeah, for mistakes, I just feel like I never really think about any of my mistakes, just because I feel like none of them were like leave a scar on me or something like really profound for me.
Right. Well, and I don't have anything in that vein that's like some like deep
Traumatic
life thing. It is more just like even things that it is more just like, it's not the end of the world. Like I'm not going to die or something, but it is things that just like annoy me, where it is like deleting everything off my hard drive or off my computer. In a car related thing, I think about the time in college when I was parked across the street from campus in a spot that I had parked in like numerous times before, and was at like a house party or something. And I left the house party at like, midnight, whatever fucking time it was. And my car was just gone. And like the panic of like, what the fuck happened? And then finally like looking around the lot and realizing that there was like a sign and being like, okay, I probably got towed. I don't think my car got stolen. And then like calling the tow thing and finding out that it was there and that I would have to go back and get it the next day. But now I needed a ride home. So just that like phone call of having to call my parents. Well, I called my mom because your boy's learned a thing or two in his time. So I called my mom, but like, hearing my dad in the background of like, what do you mean the car? Like, and him just like freaking out. And then him being like, all right, I'm coming to pick you up and shit. And just being like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. So it's like, that's definitely one that like, again, it's not like, I went and got the car back and it was fine, but it's just like another like example of something where it's like, going forward, I'm going to be a little bit more careful about where I park the fucking car so that I don't have to go through that again.
I do have one example I can toss out before Patrick goes and says his mistakes, because and God knows there's plenty of them.
Dude, I'm a scumbag.
Why?
Oh,
because of the mistakes. I'm
'cause of
sorry,
the mistakes,
I
yeah.
got lost for just one moment. But yeah, so, but I think that for me, one mistake that annoys me sometimes is how like, and this is a general habit, but there's a specific event that happened that relates to this habit, which is like how I talk too much sometimes. I feel like I just like I overshare and I talk about shit that I probably shouldn't talk about. So I don't know if I'm trying to think of if I could even say what I'm going to say, but I think that the mistake or mistakes that annoy me sometimes are just like oversharing and not kind of minding my own business and keeping my private information.
Yeah, and talking too much, dude. Don't you get me started
all the time. Yeah.
On your blabbering, dude. Yap. Mayor of Yapsville, dude. Holy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Patrick, your mistakes, please.
Dude, I don't know why, but the ones that came to my mind are just like super like goofy and stupid. Like, when I was like in elementary school, there was this girl I really liked, and she was a year older than me. I was in grade 7, I think, or grade 6. I can't really remember. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write this girl a song. And so, so it's so stupid, dude. It's so stupid and embarrassing. So I write this song, and my dumb idiot brain thought, you know what would be a great idea? Sing it to her during recess, a cappella, in front of her and her friends.
No way you thought that. You
Patrick.
Swear to God. I swear to God, you can't make this shit up. I swear to God. And I did it. Can't make this shit up. Dude, it was the worst, dude. It was actually the worst, one of the worst experiences of my life. Dude, first of all, she's a year older than me, and also we're in elementary school. So what are we doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about?
And a year
here?
older in elementary school feels like 10 years. That's rough.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly like what you just said.
She's like,
you look down on people who are younger than you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that wasn't a great experience.
What happened? What was her reaction, and how long did they laugh for?
No one laughed. Oh, okay.
Was anyone like, "Aw, this is nice," or was everyone?
Yeah. I vaguely recall one of her friends being that was sweet.
No one did that.
No one did that. Oh, you're telling me no one did that. My bad. You're right. My bad. No, yeah, I vaguely recall. Maybe that's my psyche trying to like protect my image of myself. To be quite frank, no, but I think I do vaguely recall that. If it didn't happen, then it is what it is. But like, I just know her specifically. Like, she just wasn't feeling it. So I remember that she wasn't feeling it. So that was not great. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
unrequited love.
Yeah, that's I can think of a couple of those mistakes that I've made.
Yeah,
like that one time where I asked a girl for her Instagram just to like have her to just be incredibly dry, and then it was like clearly not going anywhere. Those I always feel like I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean you can't. Yeah, with those it's hard too because like you can never know until like the cards are on the table. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another. Oh, please go, Patrick.
How dare you fucking? How dare you cut me off?
Sorry.
Don't you do it again?
Him.
I don't like how threateningly you're pointing your finger at me right now.
So another one that you guys make fun of me a lot for this, but it was a summer night in. Cut out the place. It was a summer night in wherever we were in our hometown. We were at.
Oh, I know where this is going.
And there were a few girls, and
we were at the bar.
We were at the bar.
Oh yeah.
And there was a girl who I fancied, but I was too much of a coward to.
You're gonna say something. You're gonna say something a different word with a P.
I was too much of a coward to talk to her, and so she. Eventually, the night went on, and her friends walked out of the bar, and I thought to myself, you know what? I wanna talk to her. Like, why am I being such a coward? And so I left the bar, ran down it's called Main Street in our hometown. Ran down the street, chase these girls, and to talk to this girl.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but every city has a main street. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
it's not unique to our region.
You're right.
Malcolm has returned.
Have you figured it out, Malcolm?
You just click the video button.
You just click the video button. You literally just press the video button.
Oh,
there you go.
It's
Let's see
loading.
if his lighting's good.
There he is.
Oh, his lighting's better than Mark's. What the
Look
hell?
at
That is not
him.
true. That is not true, dude.
How's it going, Malcolm? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, we're just wrapping up here.
Are you in the kitchen?
He is.
You're about to make your food for tomorrow, aren't you?
No, I'm just making some.
You're a scumbag.
Now,
You
this
know
is
what?
good
I was just telling
podcasting.
them.
Good.
I was just telling them the story about how and the way you guys say it to make fun of me is so incriminating for no reason.
That you chased
It's
a woman
so
down the
incriminating. Yeah, that I chased a woman
Come
down
on.
the street. Like, why describe it that way?
You literally did.
So okay, but hold on. I told the story in such a way that gave all the context and didn't make it sound like I was. I don't know. It's unflattering. That's all I'm gonna say.
You see that honey drip?
Oh, I see.
I do
We're
see
seeing
that
the
honey
honey
drip.
drip. Malcolm, my topic right now that we're discussing is mistakes. One I have to rattle off real quick, Patrick, that just came to mind when you were talking about your thing, whatever. And this kind of goes into Mark's oversharing. Is like, I think about the times where like the four of us have like a very specific, and like every friend group have a very specific like dynamic. And like Patrick and I, you and I and our work buddies have a dynamic. My friends from like college and whatever have, you know, dynamics. And there's times where I would be in like a social setting or with different people, but like say something that I might say to you guys that like you guys would laugh at, but like other people wouldn't laugh at, and like stuff like that. And like the example that always comes up in my mind, and I think about this, it's one of those things again where it's like I think about it more often than I should. I'm telling you, nobody else in this story has ever thought about this once since it happened, except for me. But it was in high school in French class with our beloved French teacher. And I mean, it's not an incriminating story for anybody else, so I can use names, but I was sitting at a table with, I think it was me, Sarum, Saad, and like there must have been another one or two people there, but I just remember the three of them. And we were like doing this quick group collaboration thing, and we're talking, and it's, again, I knew those guys, I talked to them in class, whatever, but it's not like we were boys or anything like that. And I forget how it came up, but I think it was like Saad saying something. Look at that. Saad said something to the extent of like wanting to talk to another group in our class that was like all girls or something, because like our teacher divided us up just into groups to like work on something, and our group was all guys, and there was like a group on the other side of the room that was all girls. And Saad said something to the extent of like, oh, I wish I could go like be in a group with them or talk to them, or like, you know, how do I go say anything to them? And I, without thinking, said to these guys, I'm like, oh, go over there and give them a striptease. Because that just, you know, came out. And Sarum heard me like not totally correctly, and he just starts laughing and blurts out loud like, you want a stripper? To which our teacher hears that immediately and just turns and looks over at our desk with this look on her face of like, what are you fucking idiots talking about? And she like gave us shit and like, you know, go back to work and whatever and all this stuff. And it was like such an inconsequential thing, but it was just like embarrassing in that moment of like me doing what I normally do and like trying to go for the joke and it just not landing at all.
Oh, dude, you must have plenty of those memories. Come on, don't just.
Oh, man.
Come on.
Daily.
Don't
think that-
limit yourself to just that one.
I'm
Come
sure
on.
I do.
Yeah. I actually had an embarrassing thing happen to me today.
Mm.
I was in my class and we were doing this little tiny 1-minute presentation, just kind of like introducing ourselves to the class, talking about one thing that we're interested in or a hobby that we do. So I put up that one of my hobbies is like journaling and like note taking and stuff, just like about my personal life and about shit that I'm interested in. Like I'll do like little movie reviews, or I'll just write about how my day was, whether it was good or bad. So I kind of just described that, how writing is one of my personal passions, just kind of writing about myself. So as I was doing this, like my voice was so shaky, like I sounded like I was about to cry or something. Like I was just so nervous. I was just like shaky, and I was like, yeah, one of my, and then I got off, like I got off the stage and came down to my seat and whatever. And I looked at my friend and I was like, hey, like, was I really nervous? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh shit. Like I thought maybe it was kind of hard to see or whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
Later in the day after class, we like go to a study room and we're just kind of doing some application stuff. And then I was like, so I really was that nervous, huh? She's like, what? No, not at all. And I was like, I asked you and you said that I was really nervous. And she was like, no, I thought you asked me if I was nervous. And I was like, oh. So apparently I wasn't as bad as I thought I was. But in the moment, I felt like my face was probably really red and I was just shaky. But apparently, according to her, I was fine. So
I definitely had like a English presentation in like grade 9 that I think about, where like I definitely was nervous and just like speed ran it. Like it should have been like a 5-minute presentation and I was maybe done in like 2 minutes. Like, and I just speed ran. And as soon as I sat down, just being like, fuck, that was terrible. Like, why did I do that? Blah, blah, blah. But the other thing that comes to mind, and because you mentioned public speaking, and it is the biggest thing. And I know this is what scares most people away. The idea of like bombing and like why I don't think I would ever attempt stand up. Really, because I just think like the fear of like fucking that up, that mistake throws me off. And I remember in college, I think it was the end of first year or towards the end of first year, we had like this big Oscar party where like we all sat in one of the rooms on campus and like watched the Oscars that year. I think that was the year, it might have been the year Parasite won. I forget. It doesn't fucking matter. But we were all watching the Oscars. But before the Oscar watch party, somebody in the program had come up with the idea of doing like a roast of like all the different people in our program. So this one guy, Liam, was going to like perform the roast, but he would read the jokes that everybody else in our program submitted about other people. And there was like, what the hell's happening?
What is happening?
I don't know.
I don't know what
I
Malcolm's
didn't see
giggling about.
I didn't see anything other than I looked up and Patrick did this. And then Malcolm was laughing, and then I just started laughing. I didn't even see what he did
on his face.
I didn't even see the original
shit this whole time. He's actually.
I didn't even.
What happened?
I didn't see the original. I didn't even see the original thing that he quote unquote did.
Came late and just started chowing down and being mischievous. But anyway, so I remember for that, like, and I think somebody, like, a couple of people had tossed in jokes about me that, like, what? What is so fucking funny?
Just some tongue action going on.
Sorry, go on.
And then I remember like I tossed in a couple jokes about like people in our program. What is so fucking funny? What is making you idiots laugh?
I just keep looking at Patrick's face.
Why do I look like that?
Patrick is beat
Your face
red
is red
right
as
now.
a tomato.
Why is my face red and why am I crying?
Beat red crying.
You look exactly like Gonzo right now.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
He looks like I've never watched Futurama, but that one crab.
Oh,
lizard guy.
Zoidberg.
Yeah, he looks like Zoidberg.
Zoidberg, that's not a name. You're a liar.
Dr. Zoidberg.
Zoidberg.
Oh, Jesus
You know what's crazy?
Christ.
I have really dry skin, so when I rub my eyes, it looks like I've been pepper sprayed.
He just got assaulted by the police.
Yeah.
But
Sorry,
Jesus
sorry,
Christ.
Matt,
Anyways,
continue.
the long and short of it was that I had submitted like a couple jokes about like other people in our program that I knew and was like
Oh
friendly
no.
with. And like so this guy Liam in our program is like reading all the jokes, and they did the thing where they would have like a slideshow. So like a slideshow of like one person would come up, and then they would just read all the jokes that were like submitted about that person, and then it would move on to the next person. And I remember like the couple people that I made jokes about, there was like one or two of the things, I don't even remember what I said, one or two of the things that I'd like submitted got like a small laugh or whatever, and I was like, oh, this is nice, you know, whatever. You know, everybody's laughing, we're all having a good time. But there was like definitely one person that I wrote something about where like Liam did it and said it, and it was just, you could hear a pin drop. And like he's the one performing it, but it's not his joke. Like it's my joke. And it was like it was just crushing, where it's like I cannot do stand up.
Did you think that it was? But you weren't saying it. He was. Was it a delivery issue, or was it actually just a bad joke?
I think it was probably just a bad joke. I don't think it was on him. I think
you got
it was
plenty of those.
Yeah, I think it was just a bad joke. And it's not even a thing where like we knew who each joke was. Like he was just reading them off like a printout or like off a screen or whatever. So it's not like anybody even knew that it was necessarily my joke. So it was like completely internal. Like I could have just played it off as like, you know, whatever. I didn't write that. But like sitting in the seat when he read that, and it was just deafening silence. And I was just sitting internally like, oh God, like that. This is such an awful feeling. Malcolm just did a thumbs up. I don't know what's happening.
Yes, he did.
before we go here, Malcolm, do you have any mistakes?
Malcolm, I told them about how, I don't know if I ever told you this, about how I sung to a girl a cappella at recess in elementary school.
Really?
Did I ever tell you that or no?
No.
Yeah. That was not my best moment.
Not his finest hour.
You weren't the Rizzler back then?
Not the Rizzler right now. So
This is
yeah.
true.
No?
This is how
Patrick,
the
can you
girl-
give me
this is
can
how
you
the
give me
girl
one of
walked in.
these?
Oh God, that's I hate.
Can you do the whisper as well?
You like that? What is that?
Can you do this? Can you go?
Ah,
Ready?
Yeah.
God.
Oh.
Yeah, that's getting clipped, baby.
Ew,
And the
dude.
That's
fucking-
getting clipped, baby.
Ew.
I know we're,
That's
and the
terrible.
stream. I know we're not streamed, but just whatever this is. End. Well, anyways, that's all I got. Yeah, I just wanted to rattle off, some mistakes and.
Malcolm, you don't have any embarrassing
Oh,
moments?
sorry, that's right. Yes, Malcolm. Any mistakes? Anything? It doesn't have to be a big thing. Like the people you killed. It could be a smaller thing.
I think
Yeah.
I was telling someone about this the other day, but what? Is my cough shocking?
No. It's just you didn't hear what Matty said?
What did he say? Killing someone?
Oh, yeah, killing someone.
No, I didn't kill anyone.
Okay, good.
That was
Um,
embarrassing.
I was telling someone about this the other day. I don't know who it was. I think it was in like grade 5. I had this crush on some girl, and then like I liked this girl for like over a year straight. Like it didn't change. Like it was summertime. I'd be thinking about this girl. Just name drop. Sure.
Was it her?
Yes.
Cut that out. That's great.
You fool.
Sorry. Go on. Fuck.
And it was like winter time. It was recess, and I'm out at recess just like building a snowman, like just doing my thing, playing soccer or whatever. And she comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, I actually really like you, and how would you feel about hanging out after school?" And I said, "I'm really busy right now, and I'd appreciate it if you just left."
Why did you say that?
I'd appreciate it if you just left.
I was just busy building my snowman.
What the heck?
Yeah, but did you not? Did you lose feelings for her? Is that why?
No.
Yo, Malcolm.
I don't.
Malcolm forever is gonna be one of the biggest enigmas in my life, dude. I just don't get how you're wired. I
know what it is,
genuinely don't
Patrick?
get how
I'll
you're
tell
wired.
you what it is. You know what it is, Patrick? It's called
What is
that was a prepubescent Malcolm. That was a Malcolm that didn't yet think with his wiener. Because if that was like a more mature Malcolm, that would have been like a hell
No.
yeah, let's hang out.
Not true. I know Malcolm would do something like that to this day. He would definitely do something like
Like,
that
nah,
to
I'm
this
building-
day.
I'm building this.
Deny it, Malcolm. Deny it.
I can't deny
You
it.
can't deny it because he would do it to this day. Like, God, I don't know.
Well, there
I
you
just
go.
don't know. Yeah, dude, it was a whole other thing. We can save that for a whole elementary school
Mhm,
discussion.
mhm. We'll have to get to that eventually.
Hmm.
Well, anyways, I just.
What is it
I want to
about?
see my feet.
No one wants to see your feet. What is it? What is it about? Like dudes and just remembering the embarrassing shit they've done to like try to get girls or like talk to girls or
Because I think in a lot of situations, and I know there's opposite situations where like, oh God, I know there's opposite situations where we got to take all the toys away from Malcolm. God damn it.
Yeah, Malcolm can't be
That was
trusted.
me. That was me.
I saw it
And
cross
Mark
out
can't
loud,
be
Mark.
trusted.
But I assume it's because, and I know that there are.
Here's the thing. Before you go on, Matty, these effects could actually be funny, but like in the right moment.
Sure,
you know what
not
I'm
just
saying?
like
they could
spammed
actually...
one after the other.
Anyways,
I know
go
there's
on.
obviously situations where like women pursue guys, like obviously, but what I'm saying is I feel like typically, and our experience, the four of us, is that it's like
Don't
the
lump me
guy
in.
pursuing the girl kind of
Yeah,
thing, and
dude,
I feel like
Mark's
that's
got
just
bear girls
this
chasing.
is true.
Speak for yourself.
No, but what's actually funny is that it's kind of true though.
It
Like
is
he's
true.
got
It's not
girls
true.
chasing.
And
him.
I feel
Oh,
like
it's not
That's
true.
not true. No,
It's not
that's
true?
No, that's not true. Dude, can I
Go
throw
on.
out? Can I throw out a little mini topic that we can wrap it up with? Because
Please.
I mentioned this
Nah.
to you guys that I wanted to do it, so I might as well just do it real quick. Because it's like,
But wait, poor Matty didn't get to finish his thought. Let Matty finish his
what
thought.
were you saying?
I was just
Matty?
gonna say, and then we'll like move on to the next topic here. Just that like as being the guys going after the girls, that scenario is just like ripe for embarrassing shit to happen, you know?
Dude,
so
Dude,
forget about it.
it's honestly like nauseating. Like it makes me like it makes my stomach like feel weird thinking about it. Like thinking about approaching someone in the wild, like it just makes me feel horrible.
Yeah.
In the wild.
It's
Out on the
kind of
plains.
nerve wracking.
It
Dude,
is very nerve wracking.
Yeah.
What's a movie that you guys have seen in recent time or a long time ago that you feel like got worse in your mind after you kind of reflected on it versus one that got better in your mind after reflecting on it?
Nice. Is that? Are you trying to send a message or what's going on there?
So I have one real quick, by the way. I can kickstart it here.
Please.
I don't know why. I just think that the further away Longlegs is, the more I don't like it as much as I thought I did.
Wow.
I still think it's a great movie. I still think it's very good. But for some reason, I just like, the more I reflect on it, the more I'm like, it was just pretty good. It wasn't like amazing. I thought it was amazing at first. And also, the second viewing did inform that a little bit. But even before my second viewing, I felt like in my mind it was just declining.
Mark, when you proposed that idea, Longlegs was the first movie that came to my mind.
Wow.
After like
Dude, it makes me so
after having time to reflect on it and seeing it a second time,
Yeah.
and seeing like all the reviews out there, like it kind of got me thinking more. I'm like, there are a lot of like plot holes. There's a lot of things they could have done with the movie that they didn't. The third act really kind of blew it. Like there's so much more they could have done. And it just didn't live up to its full potential. And when I really thought about it, I was like, when I did walk out of the movie, as much as I did love it, I felt like I was missing something from it. Like it wasn't like I didn't get the full experience that I really could have.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what I mean, but like,
I know.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie by any means, but like I'm kind of the same as you. Like I really liked it when I came out of it, and after having time to like think about it, I just don't like it that much. They're not like as much. As
You know what's embarrassing as
Yeah.
hell? Because I watched it twice in the theaters, and the second time I watched it, Mark asked me how I liked it the second viewing, and I still gave it pretty glowing praise. I gave it glowing praise, but in my mind, I was like, I was having these thoughts, but I was too, I don't know if it was ashamed or I was scared to say how I was really feeling.
I don't know if I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure you told me better than the first time. Is what
I
you
think
said
I may have
after
said that. I
watching
think
it.
I may have said. I don't think I did, but maybe. I don't think I said
I'm
that,
pretty
but
sure
maybe.
I'm pretty sure you were like just as good, if not better, or something like that.
Really?
You
Okay,
guys
that
are
would have been
crazy.
a horrible mistake.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what it is. I think maybe like Malcolm said, the finale maybe was a little bit underwhelming. I don't know. I like the spiritual twist that it took, but at the same time, I think that it would have been cool if it was just like a longer movie that had more fleshed out third act for sure.
That would have been incredible.
Yeah.
Damn. Couldn't
Anyway.
disagree more. I've mentioned to you guys before, but Everything Everywhere All at Once is a movie for me that I think about, where the first time we watched it together, the four of us, I was like, I mean, it was really good, but like I don't necessarily get the hype around it and like all this Oscar buzz and whatever. And then watching it a second time, I was like, holy fuck, this movie's like brilliant.
Matty, and listen, I don't want to make it seem like I'm insulting you or anything.
Right, of course not.
But this is sort of my view of how you see movies. It's either it was really good or it was just Like I don't feel like there's like a spectrum to how you rate movies. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like
there's
whenever
movies
you talk
I
about
genuinely
movies,
don't like.
like Black Adam, right? But
Sure.
I can only think of extreme
Black
movies you don't
Adam.
like. Black Adam. I can only think of extreme movies you don't like. There isn't
Sure.
movies where it's like you think it's like whatever. It's either really good or Black Adam.
No, there's definitely movies that I'm not like crazy about. I mean, I could pull it up here, but like I'd have to look at the list of like all the things we've put on the wheel, like because there's some movies that I think of where it's like I don't even like what's the one where Steve Carell's like a weirdo?
I like that
Channing
movie.
Tatum.
40-year-old
Foxcatcher.
virgin.
Foxcatcher.
Oh.
That's it. That's one that we watched
Foxcatcher.
on the wheel that I was kind of just like, Like I
Literally
didn't,
an
it didn't-
award-winning, critically
Honestly, that
acclaimed
movie was hard to get
like
through,
it
and I
didn't
hated it the
really
whole
do
time.
anything for me. Where I was like,
You're all in the minority, by the
I
way.
was like, it's fine, but like that movie didn't. Like that's an example of something that I was more like middling on.
I couldn't wait for that movie to be over.
Mark is searching up the score.
That was an example of a more like middling movie where I was like, personally, like it didn't. And as I've thought about it, to Mark's topic of like reflecting on stuff, it hasn't gone like up or down necessarily. Like it's just stayed in that kind of like, you know, it was fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think a movie that you guys ought to watch. We have to watch this together. Smile.
Interesting.
Smile is such a good
Smile's
movie.
gone downhill for me.
Wow.
Here's the thing, and this is actually an interesting phenomenon. I think 99% of movies we watch, both Mark and Malcolm end up gaining such extremely negative views about over time. Like,
That's
it gets
not-
more
what are you talking
extreme as time
What are you
goes
Like what?
on.
I don't do that.
Like what? For example,
I don't do that.
what are some examples? Like, for like Long Legs is just the first.
White Squall.
White Squall, yeah, White Squall went from like, oh, I didn't really like that, to like it got worse and worse and worse.
That's not to me. White Squall. Right after I watched it, I was like, that was hard to get through. And then I feel like the more that time passes, the more I was like, it was fine. Like I'm less like hatred. I have less hatred towards it. But there's no movie that I've seen where
An adventurous movie. Come on.
But like even like I mean I think it has some heart to it with the kids all in the group together or whatever. But I just think that like with Long Legs, I went from like, oh, this is a 9 to this is like, 7.5 or it's like a decent movie. I like it, but it's not as amazing as I thought it was. But I very rarely have like a radical change where I like go from loving it to hating it.
Patrick's gonna think real long and hard. One other movie that comes to mind, and this is like not entirely related to Mark's topic, but I just watched it today, and I'm going to use this as my avenue to talk about it. I finally watched Civil War because it's on Prime now. The
Captain America?
No, not the Captain America one. The one from like a year ago about America.
Alex.
I want to watch that so bad.
One.
Can you please not spoil it?
I will
don't
not.
spoil it.
But it was really good. It's like just the premise of it, or like the 4 characters it follows are like war journalists and like war photographers. So they're basically just like following what's going on in the US like as this war breaks out. And the way they kind of set up the war is that it's like the US government is like one of the 3 factions. Florida is like a second faction, and then like Texas and California have formed, they call it like the Western Federation or something like that.
That
like
would never happen in real life.
You spoiled it.
And
That would never ever happen
these
in real
aren't
life.
spoilers. This is just like basic shit.
Yeah,
so
this
it's just
is-
like
this is
those
important.
3 factions going to war. So it's less of like a political thing of like,
Didn't want to know it. Didn't want to know any of
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't want to know that either because that's
Dude,
very-
yeah, what the
that's
fuck?
like that's the general idea of the movie, and we didn't know that.
I
didn't know a single thing.
You knew it was about
Not one
America
thing, other
going
than
to
the title of
war.
the
I don't
movie.
know.
Yeah, I thought it was,
I
I thought it was
I
just gonna be
literally-
2 sides.
I actually did not know that it was America. I just knew that the title was Civil War. I had no idea what it was about. I figured war was a part of it, but I didn't know America was a part
Okay,
of it.
fine. America.
Dude, you're
goes to
actually
the
a
Civil
scumbag
War.
sometimes.
The
You're
last
actually, for
thing
real,
I'll
sometimes
say
you're a
on it-
scumbag.
The last thing I will say on it before saying people should watch it if you haven't is it's just, and I think you guys will get this. Well, 2 things. One, it's so my shit because we've talked about before how like I love post-apocalyptic shit, but specifically like seeing how things go down. And the movie isn't post-apocalyptic, obviously, but it's like I just really gravitate towards, I don't know what it says about me, like seeing the collapse of society and shit. So from that aspect, it's really cool. It's also just really, as we lose Malcolm, it's also just like really eerie because it's shot, some of it's shot like a war movie, obviously, but it's not like, a World War II movie or like something in the Middle East. It's like you're seeing these firefights happen in like, a normal street on New York. And it's like, there's just something like so eerie about it. Anyways, it was very good. Everybody watch Civil War. It's on Prime now, so you have no excuse.
How about it really quick from Patrick and Malcolm and myself? Just say a movie that you've watched that got better for you. Because for
Smile.
Me, Smile. You said yours already.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
For me, I recently watched Ford versus Ferrari, and that was a fucking awesome movie. So good. For those of you guys who don't know, it's James Mangold who directed Logan, the Wolverine movie. That's really, really amazing. So I would check it out if you even. I don't even like. I'm not a big car guy, but it was awesome. And it was Matt Damon and Christian Bale, and that movie has been getting better and better every day in my mind. So yeah, check it out. Malcolm, is there anything that you've watched that has gotten better for you?
I'm trying to go through the movies on my
Once Upon a
Letterboxd
Time
right
in
now.
Hollywood is the obvious choice, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Another movie I actually wanted to say that went down for me was Talk to Me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
I really
yeah.
liked it when I first saw it. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was like a crazy good movie, and then when I saw it the second time with you guys, I was like,
Crazy
it's fine,
good?
but it's not-
You thought it was
I thought it was
crazy
crazy good. I did. Like I
Yeah,
did.
I love
I
it.
thought it was like pretty good, and now I still think it's kind of pretty good, but like I don't think I've had like a steep decline, but I
I
definitely
think it's
don't
because I
feel
saw
like
it in
up on
theaters, and I just felt different in theaters to me.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah. It's kind of whack, but it's what it is.
Oh, okay.
One I'm interested
You know,
in.
You're
I,
with
you know,
me
I
on
want to
that.
I want to give Nope another chance.
Oh, please do it.
even though I think the Alien kind of bullcrap kind of ruined it. I'm like, come
so
on.
good.
It's
All
his
that
worst movie.
all that anticipation for that.
It's his worst movie. That's the thing. Like Nope is his worst.
He's
movie,
only
I think.
He's only made 3 movies, so
He's
that's
made
not
3,
saying
so
that
it's
much.
3 out of 3.
I hate you. I hate you.
It's not saying that. It's not saying that much, right?
I mean, it's saying something though. It's not saying that much, but it's saying something.
Because it depends on how much you rate. Like, what's your rating on Nope? Because it could be his worst movie, but still like an 8 out of 10 or whatever.
It's
Shout out to
it's
Morbid
morbid
Side.
time.
I was just gonna say real quick too, and this will be relevant to the three. of you.
I don't want to listen. I don't want to make it be rude or anything, but I'm going to
Shit.
have an oopsie in my pants.
Okay, we'll wrap up here.
I'm
I was
gonna
just
have
gonna
an
say
oopsie in my
Alien
pants.
Romulus. Loved it the first time, still love it. I want to watch it a second time to see if it still hits the same. I think
It's
it
my favorite
will.
Alien movie.
It's
It's
so good.
probably my third, but it's
Very good.
love the shit out of it.
Third.
To me,
You
the
know what you
first two
like?
are untouchable.
There's no way you like Aliens more than Romulus.
Oh, I love Aliens so much. To me, the
Dude,
first
Romulus
two are
is so much better than the
untouchable,
first
but
two.
Romulus is definitely like
No,
I saw some lists.
Patrick.
I saw some lists of people coming out and being like, "Oh, like Prometheus or Alien Covenant or Alien 3 were like higher up on the list than Romulus." I'm like, "Okay, those people
Dude.
get your life checked out."
Damn,
Honestly,
Malcolm.
To me, the first Alien is the best one by far.
Yes, I would agree with that.
By
I'm
far,
seeing
you would
nods-
say by
I'm-
far.
I'm seeing all the nods in the room here.
No, not by far.
Patrick's not
Not by
Yeah,
far,
up
and
and
it's
down.
not better. But anyways, that's fine.
I think
That's what it
Alien is I think Alien. Oh my god. I think the first
Drag me
Alien
to
is
hell.
borderline a masterpiece. I think it's an incredible movie, and I think that Romulus is very good, and it's my second favorite. So I think it's like we're talking like 8.5 versus like damn near a 10 here. So it's a decent jump.
Damn near.
Well, there you go.
Patrick, you groundhogging yet or what?
Yeah, Patrick's
Dude, it's not looking good for my underwear. I'm not
Patrick's
gonna lie to you.
touching cotton here, so we'll wrap this up. But
Hey, let's not say anything that you don't know for a fact,
Touching
buddy.
cotton.
well, thank you very much, everybody.
Patrick's
for,
not touching cotton, for the record. That's gross.
for joining us here on our first little virtual episode. We're still working at the kinks, obviously, but hopefully it'll get better. Hopefully next time we record in a few days, well, 4 of us will be here from the jump, so we can do my topic that I've got brewing because I think it's a good one.
I gotta think of online topics now. Actually,
Oh no.
can Patrick, you find a board, find a whiteboard, and each of us are gonna bring a whiteboard home.
We're just wrapping up.
Great.
Okay.
Why is that great?
Because where am I going to get a whiteboard?
Is your dad or Michael?
The
What's
dollar
that?
store, Walmart.
The dollar store.
Don't
We don't
worry.
have those out here.
We'll have lots of room to
Alrighty.
figure out things.
Okay,
Anyways,
we
Patrick's got his shit. We don't want him to make a mess on camera. Gentlemen, is there anything we want to get off our chests real quick before we go?
There's
No.
something I want to get out of my butt.
Okay, well, there you go. And on that note, please like, share, subscribe, everybody. We're 1 away from 100 at the time of recording this. Maybe that'll change. But anyways.
What?
How do we end? How does this end? Do we just hang up and just go our own ways, or like what?
Well, I'll say, I'll take us out. We'll pause for a second, and then, I'll cut it, but we can stay on here for a second.
I'm going to the washroom. I can't stay here
Patrick's
anymore.
leaving. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.